A man is sitting at a piano. A score of Bach is open on the music rack in front of him. His wife has just walked back into the room, and he has greeted her the way you greet someone you have not seen in 20 years. She has been gone 4 minutes. His name was Clive Wearing. Before the virus, he was a conductor. He had founded a chamber choir in his 20s. He produced classical music for radio. His whole life was organized around sound. That was the man who walked into a hospital in March 1985 with what the admitting doctor took for flu. 2 days later, a virus had crossed into his brain. It was herpes simplex. It had gone for the part of the brain that holds yesterday. By the time it burned out, both of his hippocampi were destroyed. For the next 40 years, he would live inside a window of about 20 seconds. Nothing that happened in it would make it to the next. His wife would leave the room and walk back in 4 minutes later, and he would greet her as if she had returned from the dead. His children from his first marriage were strangers to him. The year had dropped away. The continent he was living on was a question he could not answer. He kept a notebook beside him. In clear handwriting, he would write that he was awake now, for the first time. 40 minutes later, he would cross it out and write that he was awake now, really, for the first time. The page filled with first awakenings, each one crossing out the one before. Every entry, at the moment he wrote it, was the only thing he could remember. His wife reached past him and put the score of Bach on the music rack. He looked at it and said he had never seen it before in his life. She played the first note. His hands moved. They knew where the notes were. The piece played, from the first bar to the last, exactly as Bach had written it. When the last chord lifted, Clive looked at his hands, as if they belonged to someone else. He had no memory of having learned the piece. He had no memory of playing it a moment ago. The virus had destroyed the circuit that writes yesterday into memory. It had also taken most of the yesterdays already there. What it had not touched was a different memory system on different tissue, the kind that knows how to ride a bicycle without being able to say so. The kind that lives in the hands and the feet and the practiced body, below the level of words. There are two memory systems in the human brain. One is the file cabinet names, dates, faces, the story of your life. The other is the hands, the skills you built by doing. The first runs through a small curl of tissue called the hippocampus. The second runs on different tissue entirely. The virus took the hippocampus. It could not reach the other one. The hands were still there. Oliver Sacks wrote about Clive Wearing in a book about music and the brain. He said that remembering music is not remembering at all. Music is played in the present tense. A bar tells you where the next bar goes. You do not need yesterday. His wife said the music was a rail he traveled on. Inside a piece, he knew where he was, because the rhythm and the key told him. When the piece ended, he fell through the track. He lost 40 years of his life. The music was still in him. His wife still walked into the room and was unmistakably loved, which means the self is not stored. The self is practiced. So practice what you want to keep, the skill, the song, the person you love. Rehearse them until the rehearsal stops feeling like rehearsal. What you build into your body now is what will still be there when the file cabinet burns.